As long as humans have been interacting, the thoughts of suicide have been prevalent. Yet we've relegated it to an abnormal state where people don't do it, we don't talk about it, the stigma behind it and how we judge and we see people as different when they have these thoughts, when the vast majority of people might experience some of these thoughts at times in their life. 65% of direct mental health practice is by social workers. We know that social workers are going to experience suicidal clients. Researchers have highlighted that 93% will experience it within their career, and 78% will have a client who's suicidal in the last year.
Working in child welfare for 9 years, one of my very first clients was a 7-year-old child who was suicidal. And that has always kind of bothered me because I didn't know enough. I think it's important for everybody to be trained in identifying those areas and preventing suicide.
My research focuses on mental illness, and specifically younger people with more severe mental concerns. Suicide is part and parcel to a lot of them. We know that suicide is closely associated with depression. Depending on the study you look at, between 20% to 33% of adolescents will experience a mental disorder within their adolescent lifespan. Suicide is a higher risk for adolescents. It certainly peaks in the early years. That often goes hand in hand with many of these conditions, specifically depression. We have the ability to affect a lot of young people. We can improve their trajectory over time, improve their functioning, reduce burden on themselves, their families, and society, and we can keep younger people alive.
Suicide is a topic that should no longer be taboo, and with the right information and training and continued education, we as practitioners can make a difference in the populations that we serve.
One of the core things every clinician should do when meeting somebody over the age of 10 is assessing if they have a risk of suicide. We don't. We make the assumption that they don't seem a type, or I don't think they have any red flags. Well, the reality is there is no type to suicide. It doesn't matter the culture, the ethnicity, the age, the demographic factors, the background factor. Everyone has a risk factor or can be at risk. So it's up to us to stop and assess. And young people really respond well if they can just talk to someone. We don't often ask. Learning the ability to ask, to assess thoughtfully, to have those conversations might go a long way in trying to address and reduce the current suicide rates that have been rising.